What's the deal with TUT and HIIT in regards to weight training? Hi, I'm Slick Nick. In case you're new to this channel, I am not a doctor, a dietitian, a nutritionist, a personal trainer. I'm just some random guy who in less than 2 months will be turning 40. And it's my goal to truly be able to fit in a size medium t-shirt where it doesn't stick out like a dress there because my stomach's puffing out. My goal is to get down to 17% body fat, which is going to get me into that fitness zone. So speaking of, when you're me, what YouTube videos pop up on your screen? Suggested videos. Well, I'm watching things like Dr. Berg. I'm watching things like Thomas DeLauer, Autumn Bates. I'm watching people like that who are keto based, but they also have a focus on training in addition to what they're eating on the keto diet. So if you've ever watched any of those videos, there's a good chance some guy with a cell phone and his shirt off next to a patio says something like, cardio burns fat, right? Wrong. Cardio burns calories, and he goes on. So I decided, you know what? I've skipped through this ad every time after about 30 seconds. I'm actually going to watch this ad. So I watched it all the way through, which takes you to another ad, a video basically that's like, I didn't time it, but it's like 20 minutes long or something. And ultimately when it comes down to it, the package that he's selling is a $67 package to help you become like him, which I think is a great deal. But for me specifically, I thought, well, what if I just take good notes and start implementing this and see if, even though I wouldn't do it as good as he would teach, what if I start adopting some of those methods? So I actually wrote down everything on here if you want to freeze that. That's what he says in the video. But specifically, I've been going to the gym for exactly a year now. And while there is some tone and maybe I've built some muscle, and yes, I did lose over 20 pounds of fat, that's true. But ultimately, I'm not big, and that's not my goal. My goal is not to build a lot of muscle, and I know I'm not consuming enough protein to even warrant that, because really, with me weighing a little less than 160 pounds at 5'9", I should be doing what, 160 grams of complex protein a day, when in reality it's more like 75. I'm doing more like about half of really what I should be doing if that's what I was going for. But I am looking for a ratio of consuming twice as much fat as I am protein. Being keto, that's what I'm exploring right now. So one of the first things he talks about is time under tension, which I'm going to call TUT. Here's the concept. You are doing slow motion. Wait, I'm going to use this I was going to use my MCT. I'll use mine. Remember, I drink 2 of these of water every day. So, you have your push day, your pull day, and then you got your legs day. So, for example, this is how I used to do weights. If I was doing this, I would do something like this. And I would count how many. Well, now, under time and pressure, it's like this. 1, 2, hold, 1, 2, and that's the first one. 1, 2, hold, 1, 2. So you do slow motion, but you do 70% less weight. And what that does is, in theory, is it starves your muscles of oxygen and causes you to, in theory, be able to, grow your muscles bigger and burn more fat in the process. Another thing he talks about is HIIT, which I'm familiar vaguely with the concept of HIIT, high interval training, or whatever. But that was more like someone's just sprinting and then they stop. So I wanted to start, and actually starting tomorrow, I'll be doing this HIIT for weight training, which what I'm going to do, instead of reducing the weight down to 70% and doing it slow motion, I'm going to bump it up to what can I get away with doing 5 times. So if I can do 5 of these, and no matter how fast or slow, if I can do 5, the concept is by the 3rd set, I can barely do it, or maybe I can't even do it. I'm pushing my muscle to the max the second half of the week. So in theory, here would be the concept. The first day, I'm doing the push day. And I'm doing slow motion, like that, 70% weight. Because when you don't stop, it is supposed to, I am sore after doing that. Then the second day, where I would be doing pulls, but slow, right? And then for leg day, which for me today, that was today. And yeah, all of it's harder when you're doing it slow motion. 2 seconds, hold, 2 seconds. With 70% weight, there's no rest. So I can see that. But with the HIIT version, it's going to be, like I said, can I do 3 sets of 5 as much as I can possibly barely even do 1, really, is the concept. And those are things that are supposed to help build muscle and burn fat, because I am aware that having more muscle on my body is going to ultimately change my metabolism to where I'm burning more fat naturally. So while I'm at the gym anyway, I might as well be able to step it up and figure this out. You know, the thing that I'm not really doing for him, he talks about calorie restrictive starvation mode, where he's basically using this in conjunction with, I guess, his HIIT training, where on the days that he needs to push harder, he consumes more carbs and he alternates. Carb cycling is really what it's called there. So that's something I'm not on board with, because I'm already limiting my carbs between 25 and 50 a day, and I am not doing them any day, and I'd rather work out on an empty stomach on 0 calories. I mean, all I've consumed, as I've mentioned in other videos, is actually, I just do a teaspoon of the MCT oil, and then I do, a teaspoon of my instant coffee. And I also do, on a separate glass, my apple cider vinegar, which I do 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar with about 1 tablespoon of ginger juice. And I do all that before I go to the gym. Plus, I'm drinking usually about 1/4 of one of these, which, remember, this is half of a gallon, so I'm drinking like 1/4 of a gallon of water. So I'm doing that all on an empty stomach, and the concept is to increase that growth hormone. So I've been very clear before that I'm not motivated really by the muscle, by going to the gym and doing all this. I just want to be lean. I want to wear a size medium shirt. The bottom doesn't stick out. I'm happy. But the concept is I am going to have to build muscle in the process, and that's cool. But do I ever need huge arms? No, that's not important to me. My goals are much more simpler than a lot of men who go to the gym, and I'm okay with that. I'm really just trying to get rid of the excess fat and keep it that way. So if you have any insight on that, if you do keto, you do weight training and you've seen results, this channel is not about me teaching anybody anything, as I established in the beginning of every video. This is about me reaching my goals by being open-minded to the keto cult, the keto lifestyle. So if you're doing keto and or you're weight training, and you can be on board with what I'm trying to do, and you can give me insight on that instead of telling me to stop eating keto, I would love to hear what you have to say right here.